a quintessential part of human life to say the least. In fact, it's literally the reason most of us were born. Hopefully, of course. But what exactly is Rizz? I don't even know, to be honest. Like most words created within the last 5 years that ultimately end up on the front page of the Urban Dictionary, you're not gonna find one consistent answer on what it truly means. When I first looked it up on Google, it said skill in charming or seducing a potential romantic partner. And I was like, yeah, that's cool or whatever, but let's see what the actual innovator and creator of the word Kai Cenat says.
Rizz is when you talking to a girl, right? And at first, shit is not going your way. You go from a crazy scenario to where like you not fucking, and then like you so sick of your words, you end up fucking. Oh yeah, you got Rizz.
Okay, I think we come to somewhat of a consensus of what Rizz is. Maybe we could take in one more opinion, you know, just to make sure that we're on the accurate side.
Rizz stands for charisma. Charisma means you got charisma.
Sure.
You know what? I'll take it. That does kind of coincide with the other definitions that we heard. Now that I think about it, if these are the definitions, then I got tons of Rizz. No wonder in elementary school they used to call me Dolph Rizzler. In fact, I was there when they signed the Declaration of Rizz Dependence, along with Walt Disney and the man, the myth, the legend himself, Otto von Rizmark. Come on, guys. It's a video about Rizz. Y'all really expected me not to use at least 3 of these jokes? But, whether you guys think it's a testament to my Rizz or not, I'll have you guys know just for educational purposes, I probably get motion with females once, maybe twice a year, if there's a fucking blood moon out, Sozin's comet arrives on time, and the third impact is on schedule.
But wait, why am I taking advice about Rizz from someone who only gets girls when 2 fictional events happen?
Subscribe? But in all seriousness, guys, I think Rizz culture is beneficial to people in many ways. Honestly, anything that encourages people that sit inside all day and scroll through TikTok to get outside and go explore and talk to new people is a W in my book. But then there's the side of it that's a little bit dangerous. Almost as dangerous as your personal information ending up on a public listing site. Which is why I'd like to introduce you guys to today's sponsor, Aura. There are few things that I hate more than random companies emailing and calling me about a service that I did not subscribe to. And we're living in an age where all data brokers need is basic information like your name to access a whole plethora of information, including your number, your email, and yes, even your personal address. Aura can easily identify these and submit opt-out requests on your behalf. The process of doing it yourself can be hard and quite frankly a little bit tedious. Why not just let Aura handle it for you? You can also use this to monitor your credit, manage your passwords, get antivirus protection, a VPN, Wi-Fi security, and more. You even get identity theft insurance. I personally just like how easy everything is, as well as the fact that it's a one-stop shop for basically anything digital protection, and all at one really affordable price. Go ahead and click on my link in the description or scan this QR code for a 14-day free trial, as well as a huge thank you to Aura for sponsoring this video. Before we understand how Rizz and Rizz culture can potentially be dangerous and detrimental, we first gotta understand how guys think. Men tend to be really simple. Offer us cute girls as an incentive to do anything, we listen. The only downside to that, of course, is that if you offer us cute females as an incentive to do anything, we listen. And since the word Rizz became so mainstream, I'm sure you guys have seen a number of different types of content. First, we got the pickup line content. It's pretty simple, really. Dudes go up to girls with terrible, god-awful pickup lines, and somehow they still end up bagging the girl. Which ultimately goes back to Kai's definition of Rizz. You're essentially pulling yourself out of a terrible situation, and you successfully bag. Quick side note though. What the fuck are these pickup lines? Are you trying to get these people success, or a kick to the balls and a restraining order? And this has 170,000 likes. People are actually considering using these. Are you a vape? Because I will never use you. Healthy lung Rizz?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Reevaluation time. Some people use pickup lines to actually bag, and some people use pickup lines to pull themselves out of bad situations. Then there's the cold approach type of content. Dudes will kind of just walk around, find females that they want to Rizz up, and then go do that. And I'm not gonna lie, these dudes be smooth as hell with it. Like, it's actually impressive. It's like these dudes always know the right thing to say, and it's especially impressive to me because sometimes when I'm doing something as simple as ordering food, I unintentionally put on my best V8 engine impression. It gets a little fucking awkward to say the least. And of course you got the ever so infamous unspoken Rizz. Cringe grown man fan interactions aside, unspoken Rizz is essentially seducing someone without saying anything at all. Also, once again, pretty impressive. I'd need a goddamn nerf if I had the ability to put females into a genjutsu. I'd have an entire harem. I'd be living in a goddamn isekai anime. And honestly, it'd bring a whole nother meaning to the channel name Sparky Stotts. I'm actually totally joking, by the way, guys, in case you couldn't tell. Anyway, after all this, you're probably wondering what exactly is the issue. And it actually isn't the content at hand, so if you're watching this and I mentioned you so far, just keep doing what you're doing. It's actually pretty impressive. But as I stated earlier, guys, if you use cute females as an incentive for men to do anything, they will listen. They might not always act on it, but they will definitely listen. Now, after watching all of this ultra Rizz-stinked, there's a few options that you can take as a man. Firstly, you can do nothing. Simply enjoy it as entertainment, nothing more and nothing less. This is the shitty boring option, and realistically, no one took this option. Cause honestly, who don't want the quantum Rizz ticks behind what it took to bag that girl? Not being at least a little bit interested is quite frankly a little bit ridiculous. Alright, I'ma chill. The other thing you could do as a man is simply study what they do, understand why it works, and apply aspects of it to your own game, if need be, where necessary. It's not rocket science. If someone's good at what they do, study them, understand why it works, and apply it to yourself. It's pretty much how you get better at anything. But y'all niggas read the title. Like, come on, y'all know people aren't really out here doing this. Some people are, but most people are not. Making this a far cry from the third option, just rip his ass off. Copy him. Bar for bar, flow for flow. To put it in layman's terms,
I want a girl, he gets a girl, so I copy him.
And unfortunately, this is the route that most people take. Now, here's why this will not work. You are not Duke Dennis. You are not Kai Cenat. You are not Miami the Kid. Not everyone can replicate what these people do and have success for a number of different reasons. In fact, I'll even give you guys an example. This is, Greg. Greg fetishizes Duke Dennis. He watches unspoken Rizz compilations all day, strives to be like Duke, and he even has this picture hanging over his bed. He's inspired by these videos to the point where he goes outside and decides, hey, you know what, I want some girls of my own. So I'm gonna try exactly what he did. Greg spots a girl he likes, so then he uses unspoken Rizz. It was ineffective, because in reality what he did was stare at her from a distance and give her that little hand sign insinuating that she should come over here. She then proceeded to get scared and run off. Now, why exactly could this be? Duke Dennis did it, and it worked for him. So why doesn't it work for Greg? Because there are a number of factors about Duke Dennis that plays into why what he does works. He has a calm, inviting nature about him. He doesn't have an intimidating face or aura. And if we're being honest, Duke not an ugly dude. Sometimes it really just be that simple. Greg, at best, is a 5 out of 10. And that's him rating himself, by the way. And at worst, looks like some Jordan 1 heel drag. Not to mention that he has a bad mean mug. Now does it make a little bit more sense why Greg can't just seduce a girl without saying anything? No, leave your daughter around someone that looks like Greg for an hour. You don't want to do that. Yeah, that's my point. Even if you somehow did bag a girl trying to be like Miami the Kid, unless you just doing that shit for bragging rights or just to see if you could and there's no real reason behind it, 9 times out of 10, if you get a girl's number, you want to take it somewhere. Now it's time for you to go out on a date with her. It's awkward and uncomfortable. It's easy to try to blame the vibes on her, but the real issue is that you introduced her to someone that you are not. Can't maintain that Duke Dennis Rizz for an hour. Who you are will ultimately come out. Don't introduce people to vibes you cannot maintain, guys. For me, Rizz is really no different from like basketball or something, in a sense that there's no playstyle that's inherently bad. There's playstyles that are more flashy, There's playstyles that are probably a little less flashy, but at the end of the day, the goal is simply to score. There's also playstyles that might not work on or for certain people, but for the people they do work on, you'll be unguardable. Even with Duke and these guys. So many girls probably rejected Duke because they just didn't really like the vibes that he gave off. But you know, a lot of people aren't that educated to elaborate on what they mean, so they'll say some stupid shit like,
"You give me the vibes of a hoe. I feel like you gonna cheat on me."
yes, guys, even the quote-unquote GOATs have to fail. That is how they ultimately get stronger. And I find it so funny when people look at Rizz to be so one-sided, and then a dude like Pete Davidson comes in and bags some of the most coveted females really ever, and bro's just a funny, awkward comedian that looks like a Teletubby boot. If you guys want to learn about Rizz on a little bit more of a deep, thorough spectrum, I recommend picking up a book called The Art of Seduction. They break down seduction into 9 characteristics and explain why these work, how they are dangerous, and how to avoid getting caught up by them. I think it's a very good read. I'll even connect the seduction type to a person right now. I'd say Kai Cenat is a charismatic. He just has that energy about him that everyone just wants to be around him. It's always a good time when he's around, and I feel like it's really easy to open up around him. He feels like someone you've known for years. And honestly, it goes deeper than Rizz. I feel like this is why he's so successful on the internet. But we can't dive too deep into the gems, y'all. We can't do it, not just yet. There's even a seduction type called the dandy, which essentially is a guy that has feminine characteristics and uses it to his advantage in seduction. And I'm not gonna lie, when I read this one, I instantly thought about Prince. If y'all know, y'all know. Prince is the original Rizz god. And honestly, he had more femininity in him than most of the females he was risen up. Just read it, y'all. There's something for everyone in here. And you don't have to limit yourself to one seduction type either, guys. See which ones relate to you and use that to develop your game and make it stronger. If y'all are lazy and don't feel like reading, cause I get it, then one content creator I highly recommend to you guys is Taekwondo. He's analyzed the game of pretty much everyone that I've mentioned here today. But most importantly, he preaches the overall message of this video. Study so that you can understand why things are successful, and then see if you can hopefully apply that to your own game to make it better. But understand that you as a person, yes, you watching this video, are unique. There are tons of traits and characteristics about yourself that you overlook every day that could potentially land you the female you want, the male you want, or really even anything you want in life. Seduction really goes past sexual stuff, guys.
If you're not a good texter, you don't know how to text, don't be. Stop trying to force yourself to be something you're not, bro. If you're a nice guy, be a nice guy. Stop trying to force yourself to be an asshole. Because at the end of the day, if she don't want you for who you are, fuck her. She ain't the one. I'm not no butthurt ass guy that's gonna teach y'all, oh yeah, all women are the same, F woman, don't get a girlfriend, da-da-da-da-da. Man, them butthurt ass niggas that be on the internet saying that, bro, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Show yourself some self-respect. If she don't want you back, fuck her. Simple as that.
But y'all get the point. I don't know why, but I can't help but feel like I could have explained all this a little better, but regardless, this is the video. Rizz on, guys. Keep doing y'all things. Take care of yourselves. Study yourselves. And Sparky out. Now that the casuals are gone, these jokes are terrible, but I had to do this as my last resort. I guess you could say that these jokes are natural disaster. Alright, I'm gonna chill now. I wouldn't want this to be your 13th Rizz and